Hey, dolls, welcome. We were trying to figure it out. Is it season 2, episode 3, episode 4, whatever it is? We are glad that you are here because obviously you see this blonde over here isn't my typical co-host, but she's somebody that I'm incredibly excited to have on our podcast and to find out all about what makes Miss Faith tick. So, welcome, girl.
Hey, I'm not as young, pretty, or probably as blonde as
Neither am I.
Lee,
That's all right.
You'll take it.
You and I will both take it, but that's okay.
She's
but just
gorgeous.
So you know, she's in the building. She's here. She'll pop in and say hi in a second. But I'm really excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
And for all of you, you probably don't know who I am. You probably know who Faith is more than you do me. But anyway, this is Faith Fessel. So you can follow her at Faith Fessel. And she is one of the top creators, top influencers. You're a pretty big deal.
That's insane.
I can't believe you're here.
I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm here.
How much is it going to cost me? Hold on a second. I don't know if I got enough pocket change for all this.
I think the car was enough.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm so glad you love a good convertible. But anyway, so I'm here to pick Faith's brain a little bit about how Faith came about. So now everybody knows that I shoot shit right off my hip.
I like it.
I usually don't do it. But you know what? I knew I had somebody special come in today and I was like, I'm going to jot down some really good questions.
Notes.
Because I'm going to really get into that pretty little blonde haired brain of yours.
Did you just call me pretty?
I did.
And little?
And little.
In the same
pretty
sentence.
and little in the same sentence with the period on the end.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so we're really excited to have her here. And here at Doll Squad, anything goes. There's what do they say? No holds barred, no bars held.
No.
I don't know. I haven't held a bar.
No holds barred.
I haven't done anything. A bar I could do. It is Friday.
It's Friday.
But, I haven't done any of that. But anyway, so I'm going to start.
It's after hours.
Is it after hours? Wait, this thing is like going all the way around. All right, I'm going to start with my very first question.
Hit me with your best shot.
So here's the deal. You can tap out at any time.
Okay.
So that means if I give you a question and you don't want to answer it, you can say, plead the fifth, tap out,
Plead the
whatever.
fifth. Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm looking to my legal counsel.
I don't think anything's really. I don't think you're going to tap out.
Okay.
Because these are things, and you know what? You have done the social media. You've been a trailblazer in social media, particularly someone that's around our age that's been a trailblazer. And I'm saying around our age, we are 21 and holding, and
a half.
and I like to learn this stuff because I find it incredibly fascinating the way the world has turned. Because you and I, we've seen a lot of different things, right? There weren't cell phones when you and I were growing up.
No.
There weren't a lot of
Thank
these
God.
things. I know.
That'd be proof.
Could you imagine?
No.
I would be like this.
No.
But I do have my cell phone for my first question.
I love it.
So it says, here's my first question. Everyone sees the highlight reel, right? Like everyone sees the highlight reel.
They do now. I used to do it straight from the cuff. And then now my daughter edits some pieces out because I say too much.
Well, that's it. I don't think you get to be who you are without having a really great personality, to be real honest, and to share a lot. I do believe in your thing, but that's not my question.
Okay.
It says everyone sees the highlight reel before Ashley edits it. Ashley's in the house too, by the way. But take us back. Okay. I want you to take us back to the moment that truly started your journey as an influencer.
To be honest, first of all, I, to this day, will say I hate the word influence.
Okay, what would you
I feel
prefer?
like influence implies I'm talking you into something.
Well,
I don't want to talk anybody into anything.
You just want to provide information.
I just want to share, look, I'll take it back to where it started, and that's why I don't like the word influence. When I say someone influenced me,
I have to change it on my notes then. Hold on, go ahead.
When somebody influences me, I feel like they talked me into something that maybe wasn't even right for me. But when somebody informs me, educates me, broadens my knowledge about something I didn't know, right? That makes sense. That's different. It makes sense. And so I was a hairstylist,
right?
And I was at a hair show, and the young ladies, happens upon this. Hey, Suge, hey. And she said to me she was going to quit school. And she had 6 weeks before graduation, and I tried to talk her into staying in school. I'm like, 6 weeks, your parents already paid for it. She said, you don't understand. I make $100 a week on TikTok. And I said, oh, you get paid on TikTok? She said, yeah, but you're too old for that.
Oh, pardon. Wait.
But to be honest, I just, it pissed me off. It lit fire.
Oh, okay.
I went home and thought, I cried for about 2 hours.
You cried?
Yeah, I was really wounded.
You were wounded because this.
I mean, I've lived a life behind the chair and in front of mirrors.
Right.
And, I didn't look bad. I was in my 20s. This girl, I didn't look bad. I thought I knew it all too. And then I thought.
So it floored you. You went home and you said,
out.
Who is this little cow?
Who is that bitch?
Yeah. Oh, she said bitch. She just said it.
You said I was unfiltered. I went home.
You can say whatever
and I looked at my husband
want.
and I said, who is that bitch? She is somebody's child. She is a waitress. No offense. I couldn't do it. That's a hard job.
So that's all right. It is a hard job.
I couldn't do it. But I just was sitting there thinking I had to talk myself down. Because I was ready to quit my job and not, but you know what I mean? I was devastated. I was hurt my feelings. And, but I love
it's
makeup.
Amazing. There's always a moment. I'm going to take that question off.
I felt like you're too old for a lot of things if you come right down to it. And I went to bed that night and I got up at about 2 a.m. and I set up and I scrolled on TikTok and I went searching like making money on TikTok, and TikTok Shop hadn't started.
Yeah, TikTok Shop is new.
No, it started like a couple weeks later. I was right at the edge.
How long has TikTok Shop been out now?
Right at 2 years.
Okay.
But
I think we didn't start TikTok Shop until this year,
girl,
I think.
There weren't a whole lot of shops on there.
Last year.
We started when it started in August.
Oh, what do I know?
I just have the left hand knowing what the right hand's doing. The bosses are really over there.
The bosses are not here. Do you know what I do? I make really great makeup.
You really do.
I know all about ingredients. Yeah. I know all about texture, and I stay in my lane. That's my lane.
It's a big lane.
It's a big lane, and I can fly down there in my convertible.
They say the mark of a great leader is
you get good people around you that know more than you. You got to surround yourself
with people who know more than you do. They got to lift you up.
Is that leader is the dumbest person in the room?
Well,
no. Because you're only going to elevate yourself if you have nothing but smarter people that know more than 100%. You're going to elevate up to their level. So if you're the smartest person in the room, that's not smart.
And as a woman-owned business, a woman-founded business, you have to have women that are girls.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought about this young girl and I thought,
tell me.
She helped me. So really I got up and she motivated me. And I thought, have you really lost your mojo? Like, what do you do to get it back?
But because you were
60 was coming.
You were a platform artist for how long? Because that's a big difference. A platform artist is like you are teaching, showing.
I've been a cosmetologist for 42 years, almost 43. I've been a barber for 40 and an educator for both for about 38 years.
Wow.
And I just, for lots of different brands.
Sure.
And I just thought, like, have you lost it? And I thought, am I dressing a little more dowdy? And I really did think, I'm looking at my daughter, because I really do feel like I started losing myself. And I think that this young lady had seen me, a few times and had seen that. Maybe she saw it. I don't know. In my head, I set up. And so because TikTok Shop was getting ready to start, they had all these little classes when you went. I was like, oh, wait, I found some classes. And I was watching all the videos like a
like a hound dog.
I was on it and I was taking notes and like how to do it. And so I thought, what do I have to say?
So tell me, what was your first video?
I left work the next day. This wasn't the day of the young lady.
Okay.
Now I haven't slept much because I've been up doing my studies. I got stuff.
So you went home. You were devastated. You were flustered, crying, talking to your husband. Then you did a little research.
Yeah.
Now we're the next day.
Next day
happens.
And I tell my husband I'm thinking about making a couple of TikToks, and he said, "What are you lost your mind about what?" So I went to work and. At work, I was teaching a young stylist, and I heard a guy say to his wife, she looks too high maintenance.
About who?
Me.
About you.
He was telling his wife, who looked very, simple. She liked very, simple. And he was telling her he was glad she wasn't high maintenance, pointed at me. He's 4 feet. He's 4 feet away. He said she's high.
He was only 4 feet tall.
He
Or
was,
he was
4 feet away from me. In my brain, he was 4 feet tall. In my eyes, he was 4 feet tall. And I just heard him looking at me. He said, she's high maintenance. And the wife looks at him and said, yeah, I don't like those fake eyelashes. So I was feeling cocky because I had a night. I didn't have enough sleep for this. And I looked at him and said, do I look like I care what your opinion of me is? And I went home that day and I made a video that said this. A man told me I was high maintenance. I'm bougie, but I can afford me. I do my own nails. Cost me $6 a week. I do my own lashes. They cost me about $6 a week. I do my hair. I do this makeup. And I have lived long enough to be bougie if I want to be.
That was your very first video.
And it went viral. The resignation from it was women over 50 were showing up. And I was going to turn 60. I was 58. And there were so many women that were saying, that's right, we've lived long enough. And organically, people said, what lipstick are you wearing? And what earrings are those? And hey, how do you do your nails? And how do you do your lashes? Can you do a video on your lashes?
Do you think that you found a niche because of your style, because of your age, because of your knowledge?
I think all of those, but to be honest, I think that you don't have to be any one thing at this age. Like you are still who you are. Like the turkey timer didn't pop out when I turned in my 50s, coming on now in my 60s, where you said, oh, now you can no longer wear that leather jacket. Oh, now you can no longer wear. I had someone say to me, my husband told me I was too old to wear pink. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, he would never be able to come to my office.
No.
He would be so offended.
And then,
if you haven't been here, my entire office is pink.
And I've had people say, so I started thinking about what have other people said to me. And I had somebody say, oh, I would never cut my hair short. I had long hair all my life. And they were like, oh, I would never cut my hair short. And someone said, you would be a beautiful woman if you would let your hair grow out. I said, what?
I'm going to be a little dumbfounded this entire hour. I'm not lying.
So I started going home and making videos.
Do you have calluses from slapping
No,
people?
my daughter sitting there, she said, oh,
sure.
Mom, some of your videos are cringe. And I was like, well, the old broads are talking back to me. And I'm going to keep talking to them. They need a cheerleader.
Well, I do think it's interesting because you and I grew up in the same era. I think I might be a year or two older than you, but there was no cheering section. There was none of this stuff. So I do feel like this whole social construct has given people a voice that were voiceless, right? And have brought different people and generations into the forefront that just really didn't have a cheerleader.
No.
So it's really exciting. What's your favorite part about, I'm going to ask you a couple times, what's your favorite part, one, about doing a video? Like, do you think about it? Do you think about what it's going to be? Do you plan it out? Are you spontaneous? Are you just spitting it out? Are there ones that are planned, or there's one that are just...
Doris, I have diarrhea of the mouth, okay?
I know you do.
It comes out.
Faith fan.
My daughter has to edit some things out because we share a lot of that we're unfiltered now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, she's just like, you can't fucking say that.
Yes, you fucking can.
I'm like, and then she edits it because I do want it to be respectful. And if I'm working, especially if you're working for a brand, I want to represent them well. But to be honest, you want to look at some of these 25-year-olds and say, you want this. This is the goal, bitch. Studios have said, like, what is your purpose? What do you want to do? Don't they say that? Like, what is your message? My message is you can be whoever you are at every stage of life.
Well, I'm going to take that question out now, too, because I was going to ask you that question. Was there a defining moment after that video? Like you were started, you made this video and all of a sudden you didn't understand the virility of it. I mean, you're just getting into this TikTok thing. You're challenged to say you can't do TikTok. Now you can. Was there a moment where you realized the trajectory of your life had changed?
There were a couple of pivotal moments. One of them, my daughter's laughing now. I know what she's probably thinking about. So TikTok reached out about a week later. TikTok,
After,
the
so
company.
were you shitting yourself? There was
No,
like,
because I thought it was fake. What would you think? Like, oh, it's
no,
like,
I
it's like
was getting scammed.
I was like, oh, I'm getting scammed.
I get scammed every day.
So my daughter comes to my house and she's like looking through my messages and helping me. I had so many comments. I'm like, people respond to all this. And so I didn't want to leave anybody out. People were for the most part, people were nice. And so she goes, Mom, why are you ignoring TikTok? And I'm like, oh, that's a scam. She's like, she worked for Google. She's like, oh, no, this is somebody who actually works at TikTok.
What were they saying to you? What were they asking?
They're like, we would like to put you in this program. We think that you have this amazing potential. And I was like, oh, yeah, bullshit.
What was that movie? We think you have good potential.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Bullshit.
Pretty Woman.
I was like, yeah,
remember
bullshit.
Pretty Woman? We think,
that's
Kit,
interesting. I never
Kit,
thought.
you've got good potential, Kit.
I just thought, what bullshit? Who thinks I'm going to fall for that? So I didn't. And so my daughter reached out and returned the message. And then they sent the email and we gave our number. And 2 days later, we're on a video call with someone at TikTok. And I was like, I'm still sitting on the couch. Like, are you really at TikTok? You really work at TikTok. So, and of course, now I've known that young woman at TikTok for, a couple years. And had I waited, I'm going to be honest. So in the beginning, there were these programs with bonuses each month when you hit certain milestones. And had I waited 4 more days, I would have lost a $16,000 bonus in 4 days because my daughter was like, we got to return this message. I got the next week.
Did you split it with her?
She gets 50-50.
Okay.
I don't make a dime that she don't get 50 cents. And if she wanted
teasing.
the whole dollar, she could have.
I
She'd
know
probably
you would
give me a
it to
nickel.
you. Yeah.
But I immediately.
She might make you work for that nickel, though. I'm just saying.
I would have ignored that. And don't get me wrong, that wasn't the last $15,000. Like that, it happened month after month because there were all these things to get you sort of addicted to TikTok.
Sure. Well, it does. I mean, people. So many people I know
think that I'd work now for 10 minutes a day. They're like,
So
you got it easy.
So she
was
is just
eye-opening.
leading into every question I have, like cutting it off. I was going to ask you, take us behind the scenes, like instead of what people see that's on camera, right?
Yeah.
Like what they see this 10 or 20-second or minute clip or whatever it is. What's it look like behind the camera?
A shit show.
Besides the shit show,
I have
and
got
Ashley
so
over
much
there
stuff.
dancing around.
I donate most of the stuff. I mean, we talked about this a little bit to a women's shelter near us.
I do know that, yes.
But because sometimes they want to send you like one of every color, and respectfully, you'll only see me use one or two that I think I'm going to use and love and work for my skin, and the others. Respectfully, I would write the brand back, right? Like, do you want me to mail these back to you? They're like, this poor innocent Southern bumpkin. And I was like, or I'll donate them to a shelter, and sometimes I put them together in a box and I do a giveaway with followers and things like that. Cause I think that's important too. I share the love. I've been gifted and loved and, your brand as well. And so I want to share that with other people that have put me in this position. But in the beginning, like it was insane. And stuff started piling up, right? And now behind the scenes, people think that I'm doing all this script writing and editing. Is this on? That's not what I'm doing.
No.
I just run my mouth. Okay. I just let her rip. And whatever comes out, it comes out. If I don't like it, I can't really make myself like it. I'm not an actress. My daughter will edit and take out some things. You know why? Because I say too much. I got diarrhea of the mouth. It's too much comes out.
Is that a Southern thing?
Well,
I will tell you.
You talk about you.
I do talk a lot.
She talks.
I talk a lot.
She talks.
Sometimes I have a Southern accent. My dad's from the South. So if my dad
That's why I like you so much, I'm sure.
Well, if my dad was still alive when I'm around him, I get that Southern twang.
Girl, when I'm around my family, I come back sound like a cornbread, a slice of cornbread.
I love cornbread, warm with butter on it. Just not even going to lie. Have you ever had any backlash, any controversy when you're doing any of your videos that you felt you had to like backswim, do the So one of the things when TikTok Shop started, right?
I thought, what do you have here that's on TikTok Shop? And I went looking, and there was a product that I'd been using, and it was a neck cream, and I'd been using it for, at that point, almost 2 years, or year and a half or so, and I made a video about it, and that went viral as well. And I got so many people that swear that I have had a facelift and neck lift. I asked my daughter, "Can you really get a neck lift?" I did not. Now I know because I've
You
done some
can.
research. I didn't know.
Obviously, I haven't yet.
And I'm like, so people would even come and they're like, we can see the scars. What?
Was that your first? Was that your first kind of like backlash that you were like
crazy? Like, we can see that you've had
Did
surgery.
your feelings get hurt?
I mean, no one wants to be called a liar, especially if you're a
Yeah.
sincere, honest person. I'm not an actress. I do see some content creators, and I have met some that I'm like, wow, the Academy Award is yours, sis, because I don't have it in me. I am not an actress, right? Like, I wish I could give out awards. Like, I really do, because I've met some, but no names and 0 fucks given.
Yeah.
But that said, it's not who I am, right? I could not. They send me a script. Rip that shit up quick. I ain't reading none of that. And when I hear somebody read it, I see their video, I sit back and laugh, and I screenshot you and I send it to my daughter, and we laugh together because that's my little bestie. I come with her, and I
You
go,
told
I
me
know
last
you're reading
night.
the script because I have it, you know.
Well, you told me last night that your favorite part of your job was that you got to spend time and be with your daughter.
I do. We're not gonna make me cry now.
I'll try not to.
I thought we was friends. My daughter lived in New York City for about 9.5 years, and she visited me during COVID. You know, of course, she visited a few times a year, but you know, work and life gets in the way. But she stayed with me for a few months during COVID, and I tried to talk her into moving. I was like, you don't want to live in New York, New York City. And you know, that was like the epicenter in the US for the mess. And I was a wreck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
I mean,
you know, all you hear is like people are falling out.
And particularly in New York.
She had to
it
go
was
in the
like-
hospital during it. Like right at the beginning of it, I was freaked out of my body.
I'm sure you were.
But not with that. So anywho, I fast forward, she was getting burnt out. And I was like, yes, for corporate burnout. Let's hear it for the kid. And it was looking better for her to come on back to the South. And I had, by then I'd moved to Tennessee to live near my sister, and I had some property, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was never going to advance at this without someone young. If you're doing this, you got to have somebody young in your life that's telling you what the hell you're doing. So she had moved, and then she starts helping me because I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to post some of the stuff. And she helped me do it. And then brands were reaching out for months. And I was like, no, they're not. And so she was like, they want to work with you. And I was like, well, why? And I would have never reached back out. I would have never responded.
That was all Ashley that
It was all
doing that.
Ashley.
Okay.
That's the youth. She's 35. And I'm really thankful that she's a single cat mom, because she's got all the time for me. So she travels with me. She says, I don't know. She was in Europe. We lived in Europe when she was baby. And she says now, she's like, how the hell did you navigate Europe and like traveling the world? You can't make it through the airport in Atlanta.
Well, I think things have gotten a little bit more
Without you, I
complicated.
can't.
You used to get on a plane and people used to light up a cigarette and
I
smoke
told
on
her
the
they
plane.
used to
and
smoke in here.
Yeah, they did. They totally did. But so that's your favorite part. What's the worst part about the profession that you've picked now? Like if you could change one thing, like one thing about what your day looks like, about what the business is like.
I mean, no,
what would that be?
I would love to have more time with my husband. And right now I feel like, especially because now my daughter's left her full-time job. And so we're doing this full-time together, right?
Okay.
So I feel like, you know, I don't know how many years I'm here doing this with her, but I want to do the best job for her, the best job for the brands. And so I don't take a lot of downtime. I never have. I'm a workaholic. We're like alike like that. But I think the worst thing is like I'm so excited to get to know some people because I think they're going to be who they are in the video. Because what you see, I'm the same.
Well, I have to attest to that. What you see is what you get, and quick-witted and funny, and some of these Southern twang things that come out. We're all going to get Faith Fessel T-shirts with different like comments on the back, and it's going to be like.
But not
XO
everybody
Faith.
is who they
It'll
are.
be available on TikTok Shop.
Oh
Just
yeah, we'll
saying.
post the shit out of that.
Yes, we will.
Not
But go ahead.
everybody is who they are. And that's the same. It's the same thing in every job, because this is also a job.
Sure.
But when I started thinking about it like a job was when my daughter came in, right? And now I'm
Well, when it
like,
started to monetize, right?
yeah.
What was the first big check that you made? Besides the $16,000 that you got from that, what was the first? How much was your first big check that you made?
So the first big month,
Or just one thing that you
Measure
went,
it-
holy shit, somebody just paid me to do that and I got this. You don't have to say a brand name. You don't have to say a thing. Just what was the first check that you see? How much was the first one? And you
okay,
went, this is back in the day, first
right in
one.
the very beginning,
Yep.
when I had a $50,000 month, my money, like not the GMV, but like what I sold, I made $50,000.
You made $50,000 in 1 month.
Oh, that was just early on. It went up from
It's gone up from there. So your very first month, and you were like, people get paid to do this.
what the hell?
I've been on my feet.
These bitches been sitting back raking in the dough.
Just, it's more than
And
I
so
make. I will be
I want to tell you
my
a full
own
circle
TikTok
moment.
channel.
I want to give you a full circle
Tomorrow.
moment to close the circle with the young lady at the hair show. I went to her
Okay.
graduation and took her a purse.
Did she know that she was...
I said, every time you open that bitch, I want you to think about me. And her mother thanked me.
But did she know that she was the
Yes.
fuel to your
I
fire?
went and spoke at that school, and I told her she was. Yes. And I turned my phone around and showed her what I'd made that month. I did that. Yes. I needed that. I needed it.
Why?
I needed it.
Why did you need it?
Because
you'd already done what you
I
needed
needed to lift her. I need her to
Okay.
not be that young woman. I didn't want her to do the same thing to somebody else. And I do see some young women, even in video, like doing that. I felt taken advantage of by many young creators who were positive. They knew what the best thing was for mature skin. And so I bought it all. I want everything that's the best for mature skin because
Sure.
my skin was changing and things that I'd been using. I'd always been a makeup hoe.
Well, you and I talked about this. I love makeup.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. That doesn't go
love
away
it.
because you get older.
No,
Now
I
you
like it
feel like-
even more.
Now you feel like you need a little extra.
I like it even more now.
Zhuzh it up.
Yes. What? All right. So you became successful very early on.
Yeah.
The first video you ever posted went viral on its own. Within
Yeah.
weeks, you were.
And it ebbs and flows. I think people expect that you're on this rocket ship. And I hear a lot of people and I see videos where people are like, oh, I'm down this month. And oh, TikTok shop is a mess. It ebbs and flows. Every business, right? You're a businesswoman.
Sure.
Business ebbs and flows. If you
Does.
think that you start into any line of business, because this is a business and it goes like that and you never stop, you are delusional.
What's the hardest thing about doing what you do?
What's the hardest thing
Mm-hmm.
about
What do you dislike the most? I know we can say that we don't like
I think that-
inauthentic
I'm
people.
gonna be straight.
That I understand. But what's the hardest thing? Like,
I
what's
just
the
told myself
hardest?
not to say this, and this is why I'm going to say it.
Say it.
Because I have a really hard time with the blinders to people. When people think that mature skin, mature women, mature style stops at 45, that you're just getting started to
Gosh,
be
I was
mature.
my hottest when I was in my 40s.
Same.
And I'm still going.
Now I feel more confident in my skin
Yes. Mm-hmm.
than I even did at 40. At 40, I was trying really hard. And now I have the we don't care. I'm in the we don't care
so
club.
much value to the we don't care club.
We don't care club is boss.
I think that's so powerful and so sexy.
Shout out to Miss Melanie, the queen, because there was if you haven't seen her, I'll show you her video. She went crazy viral talking about welcome to the meeting. This is the We Do Not Care Club. She's hilarious.
Oh, I seen her.
And she needs her own merch.
So who inspires you? Like, I mean, so let's talk about inspiration, not just personal friend, like when people ask that inspiration. Let's talk about a couple. First and foremost, like in this business, which is a relatively new business for most of us, as far as TikTok and social media and all of that, who would I say was your very first inspiration? You looked at it when you just started going and you said, I want to be like her. or I wish my content could be like her, or I wish I could have, like, was there any particular person that you said, wow, that's amazing, I would like to do more like that?
It's a mixture. It's a
Okay.
mixture of so many people because you see bits of yourself in so many people.
Okay.
I have made friendships, real friendships in this, and I've gotten to know people that I don't want to be friends with.
I
tell you
understood.
the truth. But that's real life.
Of
If we
course.
lived on the same block, some
Yeah.
of us ain't hanging out. You're not invited to the potluck.
So there was no specific one person that you said
There were
that
so
you
many.
did you find inspiration like scrolling and watching particular people?
Well, here's what happened. So after the whole great shutdown of the world, right?
Well, yeah.
We started shopping different.
Changed the whole trajectory of
that
the
is how
entire
that is truly how
consumerism.
I got
Like,
to
it's
be
completely
doing
changed.
this, and I thought I could never do it.
So
I
you're
thought,
probably a little thankful
started
that all that
shopping.
craziness happened.
Yeah, I started shopping. So
Changed your life.
Small boutique, Iris and Rainbow Boutique. I started shopping from them. I started shopping from Freckled Poppy and Alexander Jane. I was shopping from another platform, from
Are these TikTok platforms?
they are, but they're also on Meta. Like they're on they're on
Like-
IG,
like
they're on the Facebook. Like,
Facebook.
they've got boutiques, and that's how I was shopping. And I was like,
Because Facebook boutiques were really big.
this is pre-TikTok shop.
before
the Facebook. They were
Instagram,
doing
and
the
then before
Facebook-
TikTok
Yeah, they
and
were
all
doing
that
the
other stuff.
lives, and
Out of all of those social media
I didn't go
apps,
shopping anymore. Who goes to the mall?
no, trust me, I know. I don't. Listen.
Click. And then it was like, well, what's in style? Then you're scrolling the Instagram and you see what's in style. Now I'm scrolling the TikTok and I'm like, oh, I love that. I'll buy it.
Who inspires you on those apps? Like, who are you inspired by? Like, if you were to sit there and this had nothing to do with work, you didn't have to make a video, you didn't have to do any of that stuff. Where would where does your inspiration come from?
I really do still now buy from the small boutiques. I really do still buy things from when other people are live and because they're always on sale. Like it's like a coupon. So I'm in, So, but my friend Lori, I met her on TikTok. She is hilarious.
I've met Lori.
She's hilarious.
She's funny.
She's even, she's
She's
so
a character.
freaking
I
hilarious.
like Lori.
And so
And what's Lori's handle? If she has a handle, if you guys want to follow Lori.
Authentically Lori.
There you go.
She's freaking hilarious. And there were other people. So I started watching people who were doing different types of skincare and trying different things. And
Did you learn anything off of there?
yes, I learned what didn't work
Well,
about
but-
96 times.
Okay. I was going to say that.
I kept buying it though. I was still in. I was like, I'll take it. Something's
Was
got
there
to work.
one thing that you bought off of TikTok or social media that you were incredibly surprised that worked?
Oh,
What was your favorite purchase that worked? I'm not talking about clothing because that styles come and go, but something you said that shit is not going to work, and you got home and you went, "Holy crap, this is amazing."
Dermapeel.
I'd
I'd never tried that Dermapeel, and I
Skin.
do. Well, there's a couple things that and this bag sealer, like to seal up the potato chips.
You know, I
That's
learned
true.
how to fold a
I tried it. It's like origami. Could
wait,
you do
the
it?
cereal
I can't do
box?
it.
I just saw that.
I still can't do it. I
There's
tried
never
it.
any cereal for
I don't
me.
even buy cereal. I bought a cereal box to
Yeah.
try that. I ruined a cereal
I don't
box.
really buy cereal either, but I'm thinking to
No.
myself, my husband would kill the whole box of cereal anyway.
My
There would
husband
be
thinks it's
nothing
a
to like-
one. It's a
Yeah, it's a one serving
it's
box.
a one serving box.
Exactly.
You could be
Are
this
we married
big
to the
from,
same guy?
from
What's
the
his
warehouse
name?
club.
What's your husband's name?
David.
All right, mine's
Yeah.
Bob. My ex was David.
If it comes in a package,
maybe,
it can
you
be
never
3
know.
gallons. It can be 3 ounces. It's one sitting. It's a one serving.
I used to love. What was your favorite cereal when you used to eat it? Your favorite flavor cereal?
I think when I was a kid, Captain Crunch, but you quickly
Peanut
learned that that's
butter
going to
or
tear your
regular?
mouth up.
Yeah, it does tear your mouth up.
I don't do that anymore.
I know. What's your favorite thing to eat though now?
I think probably a BLT. I know. I'm going to take that back. Tacos. I eat tacos two or three times a
all
week.
right. I have
I
to
do eat
interject
a lot of
here.
bacon.
I'm going to tell you something. I literally, thank God I don't need Depends at this point in time in my life. But if I did, I literally almost pissed my pants. You were outside and you just picked up the camera. You started talking about your tacos.
I eat
And
tacos
I
all
was
the time.
pissing myself. I said, where the hell is she doing? Do you find that your videos that you talk about that are like random off the cuff because do you usually pick up your phone because you want to get something out? Something's irritated
It's a mixture.
you.
Sometimes I'm bored. I just start talking. And
Do you like to do lives?
I do now.
Okay.
I do now. At first I didn't, but now I feel like my mindset changed, right? Like the mindset shifted to I feel like I'm helping people. I'm giving you a favor. Like it's a sense of community. Like we're able to talk to the audience. You're able to communicate.
I do think with social media, and I think that as a creator, not an influencer, I love that you challenge that term, because I do feel that you create. So you're a creator. And as a brand, I do think that authenticity is very, very important
10 million
for
percent
both of our careers, right?
I think that people ask this all the time, and if it's in your notes, I'm gonna apologize right now, but what you just said made me think of it. People, will say to me,
I went off my notes. I just want you to know.
Who writes your script?
She answered every damn question.
Damn it.
Before I even got to get
that to me.
I can't say that one. Well, so I'm like, forget it. I'm
because
done.
it's really
and
the
Lee
conversation.
even said, why'd you even write it down? Well, because there were things. Sometimes I get to
you don't want to
and
miss it. We start talking about and go off on a tangent.
I go, damn it! I wanted to know, or I wanted to hear about this.
But
so
truly,
sometimes I go all over the place. I need to
get asked
rope
though.
in.
Like I go now and speak at events and speak at TikTok events, and somebody will ask every single time. Somebody will ask, like, who writes your script? Like, no, I don't do that. I don't think it out. I don't write it out. I just turn the camera on and be real about it. And then the next time I do it, I do that same thing again because it's worked for me now. I'm not going to change that.
Well, I think that's probably why you elevated so quickly to the top, is because I do think you can fool some of the people some of the time.
100%.
But after a while, they're going to catch on to you.
Shit
and those
floats.
videos live.
Them shit
right?
floats.
Even when you
they delete them.
They delete them, but
somebody
they still
downloaded it.
Somebody's got it somewhere.
It's floating around the group chat.
And you're saying one thing, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, you're saying another thing.
Oh, boy.
And somebody starts talking and says, well, wait a minute. This girl said this or that.
Yeah.
So I do think, like, authenticity is, like, as a brand owner, I think that is one of the most important things. What do you think, I'm going to ask you now, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think, for me as a brand owner, that I could do better?
Ooh. I have to think about you have to cut some of that out. So I'm gonna have to think about that for a second.
Okay,
truly.
we'll cut that. I wouldn't have to ask that.
For you, no, I'll be transparent. I just think that's a tough question.
I don't want to stump you because it's been too flowy and too good. So we're sitting here and we're talking about all of the different things that happen with creators and how you're on the pulse and the forefront of what's really happening in the social media world. I'm a brand owner, okay, right? I create product. As a brand owner, what do you think that I could do better?
I want to answer that first by telling you what your brand has done really well. Because I think it's something that you're not doing, because clearly you're not in all the communication, right? Like there's a whole lot that goes on.
A whole lot.
Before we met, right? So even at one point, if I have a disagreement, with someone at your brand, or we speak wrong, or I misunderstand something, I will say the communication that your brand has had, Francesca, Lee, like your team is so professional that they were willing to talk to me, help me figure out where the miscommunication was. And that's the value, is to jump. People want to jump. Cancel culture is mean.
It is mean.
And they want to jump.
That was one of my that was a question.
Damn it.
Just so you know.
They want to jump in and wield that power. They got power now. People are listening. And I think you got to wield that power. That's awful. If you think about it like power, you don't got too big for your britches. You got to sit down. And when you sit back a minute and you say, wait, if I was the business, so now I'm not wet behind the ears, right? If I was the business, I may react emotionally, but now I need to think about, that's where I have my daughter, and she says, let's think about this logistically. Let's think about this.
She
says, Mom, write down how you're feeling. And I do, because that's what the new age is. They're like getting your feelings. I wrote it down. I had a healthy conversation, asked the questions I needed to ask. I had great responses. I feel like my relationship with your brand grew from that moment in a way that has helped me with other brands, because what I think your brand did really well, and young ladies right over there, you guys, the communication that your brand has is next level. And the amount of respect that gave me for you it's top tier. It would be hard for me to say there's another brand that I have had communication with that was that was better.
Oh, thank you. Kudos
I mean that
to my
from
team
my whole
over here.
from the chest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I do feel that we have a pretty incredible team.
Yeah. Well, you did that.
Yeah. Well,
Let me beat you on the back. Probably not the chest.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you don't. If you do, hit the right one because the left one's bigger. But all right. So I know we've been going for a while, but I do, and this isn't an appropriate close, but what I'm not ready to close in, but I have a really an interesting question here. How do you deal, you're on, like social media is 24/7, it's nonstop, it continues, and you go, how do you deal with burnout? Do you get burnout? Get tired?
I guess I should. We've been traveling a lot, but I'm going to tell you,
I've been on some of the circuits with you already.
I get to be with my daughter. So I think if you get the kind of luck, the kind of blessed that you get to do that with, the little bestie that you made, right? And I get on her nerves. I'm a lot.
That's okay. You're allowed.
But when I tease about having A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I have ADHD on the next level.
Well, that's it. That most creative people do. You know that,
but
right? But
also from our generation, like you
like ping
want a
pong
bigger
balls.
house? Bitch,
Yeah.
we're doing 12 extra hours
That's
every
right.
week. Like
Or
I'm
swimming
doing.
pool.
Yeah, I'll be there. You're going to
Yeah.
be working 12 hours. I'll be there 14.
That's right.
And now I kind of feel like that again. Like I feel like if I've got to work 14 hours to do something as good or better than a 30-year-old, bitch, I'll be there the whole 14 hours.
And you just bring it.
I'll just keep going. That's what keeps me going. 100%. Okay. Because I want to make her proud. I want to make the brand proud. I want to be able to be my authentic self. And part of that is my hyper crazy.
But I love your hyper crazy. I think that's what makes faith.
Well, I
because
appreciate
I think
that.
There's so many different people out there with so many different personalities.
Oh yeah, but there's room for all of it.
Yeah,
and there
course.
aren't enough women over the age of 50. I mean, now I'm 61. I'll be 62 this year. There are not
When's your
enough
birthday?
women. November. The
2 days
29th.
after mine.
Oh, look at us, twin. There are not enough women. There weren't enough women there, and I didn't have enough women to look to. I think you got to find your your people.
Do you think you're tapping into that whole thing of like over 50 and fabulous, kind of over 60 sensation? So I would imagine. I'm going to tell you right now. I think you have other followers, obviously, than just the 50 plus, 60 plus.
I have a whole lot of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
I have no clue. Hey, Keanu, what you doing, boo? I got a whole lot of like.
Yeah, I mean, I know that
DMs.
you're tapping into
it. My daughter
but
says if she would have told me at 19 that I would be managing my mom's DMs, well, they're all named Keanu. First of all, hey Jim,
is it the real Keanu?
No.
I'm
Who is
kidding.
there? Who are these guys? Can you send me 7,000? Yes, you can. So 100%. I feel like there have to be more people at the table that have a voice that are over the age of 50.
So
and beyond.
So you feel that was your springboard, your platform that just really elevated you to go into that whole mature category, and you're the cheerleader for
I didn't have a choice.
pro-aging.
I couldn't be there for the 30-year-olds, could I? I'm their mama. I'm their aunt.
I don't know. We all, my 30-year-olds
They
over
should
here love
listen.
watching you.
They
so
should listen, but
I think there's a lot of wisdom that
you know
there's
what?
a
Because
whole
what
lot
they
of
have,
life. We
you know
bring a whole lot of life to the table.
With TikTok, they have with social media, period, that we didn't have. Our moms didn't talk about like dermaplaning. They didn't talk about their eyebrows.
We had
They didn't talk
Noxzema,
about Noxzema and Pond's.
cold cream.
Good luck.
What was that what was
The
the stuff
scrub
with
that was made with seashells?
Yeah,
That was
seashell
rough.
used to rip your skin
Just
off.
rip it off.
Every now and then I would even
Acid
rip my
peel.
face.
Yeah.
Wait,
it was rough.
Seabreeze.
Yeah.
What was
100%.
your favorite product from the 80s?
From back then? Oh, Love's Baby Soft perfume.
I was a
Did it
Bonnie
smell
Bell
good?
girl.
Had that baby powder. Oh, you like the Bonnie Bell.
I used a little Bonnie Bell with the roller
Yeah.
ball on the lips. You remember the Bonnie Bell lip gloss?
Yeah, I remember it. You know the ones that,
was some
came
good,
like
tastes like cherry.
cherry, grape, had the little pack.
So good.
Yeah. Do they still make that? I'm going
I
to
don't
tell
know.
you
But
something.
you know.
I'm going to shout out to Dalton's. I'm going to tell you something. I hate the taste of lipstick. You have the best lipstick. What is it in there? That shit tastes delicious. Don't let your kid get a hold of that.
Yeah.
Your granddaughter will eat that shit like a snack.
Do you know what's really funny?
It's the truth.
When we go into product development room,
Lee, your daughter
hours-
ever pick it up and start? I
got a
see.
video to show you
See, I need to see
It's
that.
the funniest
It
thing.
tastes so good on your lips.
Do you want to know why? Because I hate the taste of, and I'm gonna wait.
You're my
Faye,
hero for
Faye,
that.
We'll sit in PD and I'll go like this. Tastes like old lady lipstick.
I just got.
Tastes like old lady
Listen, I
lipstick.
just got a PR
They
box.
all laugh their ass off at me.
I
go,
made a video. Look, I just
eh.
got a PR box. I saw other girls posting it like, "Oh, this looks great." I put it on. I was immediately had a
Do
napkin
you know
in my
what
hand.
that
Like,
is?
no,
Do
that
you know
shit's
what causes
nasty.
that? You want to know what causes that?
No money.
No, castor oil.
The taste.
That
Shitty
it's
taste?
rancid.
It's disgusting.
Wait,
That's rancid
it's
castor.
rancid castor
Let me see.
oil.
If you ain't making your lipstick taste good, reach out
That
to a
is
fellow
rancid.
business owner that makes lipstick that makes it taste good. Y'all
Have you
got to get
ta-
together.
Have you tasted the new
Some of it's
strawberry and
nasty.
coconut peptide bounce bomb lip
Oh,
balms?
they're amazing.
I'm wearing it right now. The
Yeah,
strawberry
that's
and the coconut.
amazing.
I love them.
But I love the one that's got two ends to it. That tastes so good. I have it in my pocket.
oh, the double ended. That's
Wait,
the one
I
we're
think I got it in
most
a
famous
pocket.
for. The double ended. Look at her.
Bitch, bye. This is good.
If you had one
And
adage,
it tastes good on your straw
Wait.
later.
If you had one adage, one southernism, one thing, what would be your favorite thing that like would sum you up? Like last night we were all in love
Girl.
with Faith when she was
Do you know
like
people call me Shug?
Shug.
It's because like I say it, but you
You
know
do
what?
say Shug a
I'm
lot.
not Shug, you're Shug. I only
I'm
say
Shug.
Shug. It's like saying, hey girl, it's hey Shug. Only because, listen,
Which is short for sugar.
start for sugar.
Okay.
It's short because I haven't decided if I want to remember your name or not yet.
Half the time I can't remember your name if
Right?
I wanted to
And that's
or not.
the way it started when I was younger as a stylist. I don't even know
I'm
if I want
on.
to remember your name. And
Hey,
now
hon.
it's because I probably can't remember it. I don't even know what I'm doing in the kitchen,
Okay.
let alone who I was just on the
If I
phone
call
with.
you Hun Faith, you know I have forgotten your
100%.
name.
And I'm okay with it, aren't you?
Honey.
Yeah, hi, honey. It'll take her a minute. She'll be back.
Don't tell anybody that in the
Yeah, we lose
office.
focus. We come back. We get you. We bring it around.
You got to break. It comes back.
Comes
it's like
back.
a minute later.
It's like
you go,
a minute little
you go,
seizure.
Shit, it's
Oh,
this.
that's who it is.
Shit.
I got it.
Stars.
But then you act like it never happened, and then you just pat them on the back and you say their name later, and you look like you knew. No, I didn't know.
You didn't know.
No,
I know.
I
get it. That's the over 60 club.
Yeah.
The brain cell takes it. It takes a minute to catch up. We're still going, but sometimes that takes a minute
The
to
brain
like
cell's
catch
still
up.
back here.
He's still back here. It's like, accelerated too
Get it
far,
together.
too fast. What's your biggest takeaway from how the world has changed so quickly since the whole C-19 stuff and what's your whole takeaway from where the world sits right now? In the world of social media, not
I
like
gotta
in the
tell you,
world of politics or any of that
They
crazy
should
shit.
know everything. I mean, some of them think they do, right?
Well-
but they should. You have access. Remember going to the library and thumbing through the card catalog?
Wait. The card catalog.
They click on a couple of buttons.
How
You
about
know every damn thing.
The encyclopedia salesman, and every month an A would come.
Yeah.
The B
We
would
got
come.
the whole set. Now they got a
It was
revision.
the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Cost my
and you
dad
cost
$2,000 for those books.
2,000 Wait a second. For the cheap seats. Back then, 55 years ago,
Yeah.
your parents would sign up before they had
Yeah.
credit cards or credit or anything. They give credit card companies too much credit because it was the encyclopedia salesman that started the whole credit industry. Because your parents would pay like a little bit a month and they'd get A. And then they would come back and they would get
Yeah, 'cause
B.
you had to
God
pay so
forbid
much.
you had to do a story on
Look, you know
See a
what else?
Cat.
Listen, that
You were
changed
screwed.
the financial future. And you know what else did? The cassette club of the month.
Do you remember the cassette?
It ruined credit in the whole country.
It was crazy.
Do
Do you remember?
Eight of them for a penny.
Yeah,
Come
8 of them
on,
for
you
a
had to
penny.
pay for that.
And remember on the matchbooks, you could sign up, like
yeah.
get 1,000 collector stamps. Do you
Change the
remember that?
world.
Change the world. But still,
We didn't know.
Still, I know back in the day they used to sell vacuum cleaners door to door. But what? Oh, at least you could vacuum with it. But the encyclopedia thing, it took you 2 fucking years to get the Z.
To get the whole set.
You couldn't get the Z. God forbid. Don't do zebra.
My dad's already on the payment
X-ray.
plan, and I still got to walk to the library.
Yeah, you're still
They ain't
on
gonna
an
drop
A
you
for
off.
apple. Oh my!
That was before like soccer moms. Nobody was dropping you off. You had to get there.
No, you had to get there. You walked.
You want to do after school? Figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah. No, there was one car.
Yeah.
One TV.
Figure it out.
And half of a set
Yeah.
of Encyclopedia.
Yeah,
It's
they had shit to do.
I still look at that and I laugh about it. What's the worst thing you think of when it comes to mind about social media?
We all, it breaks my heart if you've ever been bullied. But to be honest, keyboard warriors, like the way people feel comfortable bullying people and telling them ugly things about themselves. We all have our insecurities, right?
Sure.
And I'm not even just talking about myself. When I see somebody read it in the comments, bullying somebody else in the comments, I just think like, how small are you? Like, what is wrong with your world that you feel like that's what you got to do?
What's the word?
Anonymity?
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
Do you feel that contributes to the nasty?
100%.
Like
People will say things on that keyboard. Some of them got like 8 profiles, Mr. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18, 11. They don't want to like put their face on it. What they want to do is be able to do it. And you may even know the person. You don't know.
yeah, true that.
They're hidden. And there's something wrong with them, not you. There's
Agreed.
something wrong with them, not you. You are fine. Be happy in your skin. Find your people, they'll find you. But those people are going to be there. I said this earlier. If you appeal to everybody, you ain't doing shit. You're syrup. That's what you are. Everybody likes a little sugar.
I like a little
Dolly
sugar.
Parton said one time, if you taste good in everybody's mouth, you are a sugar cube. I want to be a shot of whiskey. It's going to burn, but you're going to get it back. And then you're going to feel good. Guess what? It might hurt your gut a little bit later.
Yeah, but you're a shot of whiskey.
You're a shot of whiskey.
So, on that statement right there, I think we're going to wrap it because I don't think we could conclude that any more than we just did. And I have to tell you, I think that you are my shot of whiskey.
You are just the best. And I'm so thankful that you've come into my life.
Well, I'm as equally thankful. And you, now, my new word for you is my little shot of whiskey.
Little whiskey. It's going to be on a shirt. Watch for the merch.
It is. It's coming. And it will be on a flash sale. So hold out for that one.
We'll get a flash sale on a live.
We will. Thanks for joining, dolls.
Have the best day.
We'll catch you on the next episode of Doll Squad Unfiltered.